Hello, everyone. Welcome back to E20 Zone TV. Let me just sort the camera out, which I have done. Just watched Watford 1, West Ham 4 in a game that proved that a lot of people wrong and a lot of doubters wrong in certain players in this West Ham team. Obviously, for me, the standout performer today was Mark Noble for me. Captain's performance, and he is in the front now, and he deserves to be there. He's picked this team up from mentally all over the gaff, and we had no Rice today. Mark Noble was top draw, he really was, but we will get on to it as I speak about the game. Anyway, first 20 minutes of the game, I didn't really see, but the goal, I didn't see the goal, but we go 1-0 down. Dennis, man who I feared for them, I really did, and he come out and obviously scored the goal for them. But then I did see the Souček goal. It was a great bit of work by Bowen, by everyone really, in and around that sort of that pass and move sort of vibe that West Ham sort of play. And for me, it was a top draw goal from Souček. I must admit, that was a goal that he scored against Villa last year. Similar, very similar. That sort of pass, bang, goal. That's what it was. Obviously, Saeed Benrahma hit the crossbar, but I heard a lot of good things before I could get my stream up that I could watch. And yeah, Benny comes out and he gets the second goal for West Ham United. And I'll tell you what, people have got to start understanding this kid is a talent. I have been backing this kid up from minute one. I've had abuse, I've had trolls, I've had everyone come at me about Saeed Benrahma. But I'm telling you something now, this kid is a natural talent, and he will win us games, right? Do you know what I mean? And today, he steps up to the plate. It's 2 goals in 2 games now. I done a betting show yesterday, and I turned around and said 16-5 for him to score any time. And he did. He really did. And he performed today. And we go 2-1 up at half-time in a game where we spun it around. And I do think Mark Nobles is the main man for that. I think his captaincy abilities is absolutely first draw. It really, really is. I will get to the chat shortly. We come out second half. We should have had another goal from Jared Bowen. How they can give that as a foul, right? Thomas Souček fouling him is beyond a joke. If you go back and watch it again, I would have said that the Watford player literally fouls himself in a way. And he kicks Souček's leg. He goes over looking for a foul. They nick the ball up the pitch. Bowen scores. It should be 3-1 West Ham. Gets ruled out, VAR, which I thought was disgusting, really. But then Jared Bowen, mate, is another man who's performing. Benrahma and Bowen combination, the B&B I call him. Yeah, absolutely first class from this kid. Another one who's getting better and better and better. He's becoming one of my favourite players at West Ham. I love Benrahma, but I do rate Jared Bowen very highly. I think he's a top-class individual. And for me, he wins the penalty through his sheer determination and will to try and nick the ball at any opportunity. And we get a penalty. VAR yet again trying to look at every single angle not to give this penalty. They looked at Antonio, see if the ball went out, see if there's a foul in the build-up. Looked at everything. Couldn't find nothing. Mark Noble steps up. Never had any doubt with Mark Noble. When he steps up to take a penalty, 9 times out of 10, it's in the back of the net. And it was today, I must admit. I'm proud for him because we all know this is his last season at West Ham. And I'll tell you what, he carried this team mentally today and threw them literally into it and said, come on, we're going to get through this. And he did. And he stepped up and we go 3-1 up. And then we had a few little chances. Antonio was dogged, determined, rugged. He was getting about the pitch. He was being a nuisance today. He really was. He should have scored today. He had a great chance. Good save from their goalkeeper. And then the final goal goes in, and it's that man, Nikola Vlasic. I'm pleased for him as a West Ham fan. It's about time. He should have scored a goal before December the 28th. But he scored now. It's time to move on now from that. It's time to go another level now and start performing when you do come on the pitch, Vlasic. When he come on, I thought he was okay. Yet again, lost the ball a few times, got turned a few times, got bullied off the ball a few times. But credit where credit's due, he scores a good goal. Even though it's a tap in and it's in the 93rd minute and Watford are out on their feet, you've got to give him credit. I will give him credit because I'm not a deluded West Ham fan like some of these YouTubers are. So, yeah, Vlasic scores his first goal and we end up winning the game 4-1. But for me, there's a lot of individuals that I want to single some praise out to. Right, I will start off with Jared Bowen. I thought was absolutely first class today, really was. We've got to be worried. People will say worried about Declan Rice leaving West Ham. Let's worry that Bowen don't fancy leaving West Ham either. He was absolutely first draw. I watched this kid a long time at Hull, and I'll be honest, I always thought this kid could do something at West Ham. He come in, he scored in his debut against Southampton in a 3-1 win, and he's just progressed slowly but surely. But he's getting to the player that we all believe he can be. We always say that he gets the chances. He gets loads of chances, but he can't put them away. But what he's doing, he's got an all-round game, Bowen, that is doing absolute damage. And yeah, he was absolutely first class. Second person I'm going to shout out is Thomas Souček today. I thought Thomas Souček had a pretty decent game. We needed him today. No Declan Rice, Mark Noble in there, but I thought Souček played all right today. Scored a good goal, got stuck in. Decent, very decent. Souček of old. Saeed Benrahma, I'll come on to now. That is why I keep banging the drum about this geezer. And it might annoy different people. And people say, oh, you got this sort of thing with Benrahma. You think he's good when he isn't. He's a decent player. I don't say about players if I thought that was crap, and I'll say they're great. I think he's a very, very good player, Saeed Benrahma. I think he can turn a game at a drop of a hat. And I think today he was top draw. He really was. Got a goal. Has 2 goals in 2 games now. I want him to score 1 more before he goes to the African Cup of Nations on the 3rd of Jan. And I'll be honest with you, he's starting to become better, Benrahma. I want him to be that sort of lethal player. I know there's a player there. And I've called it for the last sort of year, 18 months since he's been at West Ham United, and I've had untold amount of abuse and stuff. But I will keep banging the drum for this kid because I know that there's a talent there, and this geezer will do damage, like especially on the wings. So I thought he was absolutely top draw. I had a bet at the start of the season: 5 goals, even money, 10 goals, 40-1. The 5 goals is in. I'm 5 away from 40-1. Keep going, Benny. Do it for the fever, mate. Moving on to Ben Johnson, who today was, for me, super. That is what a left back should be. Someone who knows how to defend before they can go forward. He wasn't vintage today, Ben Johnson, because he's not a left back, but he knows how to defend. And to not see Arthur Mazuaku in this team was a blessing. I don't want to see Arthur Mazuaku anywhere near this team, if I'm being truthfully honest, but that's just me. I thought Ben done well. I thought he passed the ball in bits, not really great, but defensively, he was pretty sound, I've got to admit. So, yeah, and finally, the final praise for me before I sort of go to the chat is Mark Noble. Mark Noble, to me, is a player that's been here a long time. He has been through hell with West Ham. He's been through the highs, the lows, the ups, the downs. He's been through everything you can name off, right? And he stood by this club through thick and thin. And for me, I look at it like this, and I just see a player that we won't appreciate Mark Noble till he's gone, until he actually leads for good. I thought he was absolutely top draw today. Absolutely first class. I thought he was a proper captain, a proper leader. And I was worried at the start. I'll be honest, I looked at the lineup. I thought, I don't know about this. Is this a good idea? But I'll tell you what, he shut me right up because he was absolutely performed to the highest ability today. Right, he's passing. It takes a lot of balls to take a penalty. Right, especially at 2-1. He knows we're not in good form. We go a goal behind, and he still manages to get the boys back into the game, mentally strong. And I thought he was absolutely superb. And that is why he is by far my man of the match with Bowen today. I thought it. We thought we'd missed Declan Rice today, but it was like Declan Rice just wasn't there, and we still managed to carry on and do what we always do. And Mark was decent. He really, really was. Let's go into the chat. Let's have a look. What we got? We've got a lot of chat. I do apologise. And I'm going to start off with this one. Do you reckon anyone should get dropped against Palace? The answer to that, West Ham 94, is no. Roy, come on, you Irons. Jazza says, one word of Vlasic. Good goal. Need to see more, though. Happy Hammer 82. Vlasic man of the match, in my opinion, James. I know me and Dale are going to get trolled for it, but it don't matter, mate. It don't matter. We're going to miss Benny. I agree, but I want him to score these goals now because he's helping us win games or doing some damaging games. 5 to go, kid. Didn't need to get out of second gear today. Watford were awful. I agree, Jazza. I thought Watford would start fast, which I said on the betting show. I believed that they would come out, and then they would run out of steam. And they did exactly how I planned it. I said Ben Rama to score any time. I said over 2.5 goals in the game. I even said to Joan, I'll move on to, she won her bet. I won my Souček bet. She obviously backed Souček at any to score at any time, and he did. And I think it was a good price today, about 3 or 4 to 1. I think it was, which was a great bet. Gary Page, Bowen is on fire, but he just gets better and better. He's giving Rice a run for his money. I agree. I think Bowen, we've got to tie this man down. We've got to sign him up to a contract where I believe he will stay for the next 5 years. He's top drawer. Noble said he expects. Noble said he expects he will get a few players in on Amazon interviews. I don't know. Let's hope so. Antonio had a good game, thank God. I agree. Antonio was decent today. That's what I want to see. Actually, that's what the centre forward should be doing. Centre of the goal, harassing both their centre arms, not drifting left, wide, and trying to come in and have shots from miles out. That's what I want Antonio to do. That's what I've asked him to do. That's what he should be doing as a player. Happy Hammer 82. The Souček one that's looking at it again was a foul, but how long after they called it is criminal? How far are they going to rewind the game, for fuck's sake? Come on, you Irons. I don't think it was a foul. I really don't. I think if you look at it again, take that comment off quickly. If you look at it again, the player kicks Souček. Souček's behind him, but the player sort of puts his foot back, kicks him, and falls over. I think it's very harsh. Even Mark said it on there. Like, if you look at the game again, you watch Mark Noble's reaction. He says, "How can that be a foul when he's kicked his own foot, basically?" So yeah, Souček used one arm to push for the VAR. A couple of whatever that is minutes later, Antonio gets played through, and their lump centre pushes him with 2 hands, and it wasn't given. I agree. I thought the referee was awful today. I must admit, absolutely awful. He must have watched you and Daya saying he ain't scored yet. I agree. But Vlasic had to do something for the price tag, innit? Let's be honest. Like, he scored now. I'm pleased. Let's maintain it. Like, do you know what I mean? He's giving it the cross hammers and all that. We will know more as the games go on, but I'm pleased for him. As a West Ham fan, that's what I want. I want my players to score goals, but he just doesn't really cut it at present. You've got to let Souček go forward like last season. He scores more goals than Rice. Great point, Gary. I totally agree. What a difference today was. Mark Noble sits there as your DM, plays, in my opinion, a really, really good game, and Souček goes forward, and we are massively successful today. I think the problem we have is we've got 2 players who want to go forward in Declan Rice and Souček, and that's why we get exposed, because they don't know which one's going, which one's staying. I think if Declan was just to sit there and go, right, I'm going to be your DM, right, and that's what I'm going to be all game, you'd see a better Thomas Souček in games. That's what I believe. Sharky, all right, James, how are you doing, mate? All good, Sharky. If you're still here, send me a message on Twitter. I've got a show that I want to do that I'm thinking about doing with different fans. So message me on Twitter, mate. Jazza, away end was rocking today. By the way, even when we were down, which I didn't expect, the poor guy in front of me nearly slit his wrist banging banging the wall for us to sing all game. Well, fair play to all the people who's gone out there today up to Watford and basically cheered the boys on, because the boys needed it today massively. There's no two ways about it. We haven't been in playing well. That's the first game I can say that we played decent in. Like Arsenal, we was poor. Even Burnley, even people say, "Oh, well, we should have beat Burnley." Should we really? We was poor in that game. Brighton, we got outplayed in the second half against a team where we just don't beat them, and then Arsenal, we got completely blitzed. So, for me, this is first. Hopefully, this is a turning point at West Ham. Hopefully, we've gone through our shit spell, and now we're coming through the tunnel, and we're going to start seeing the light, so to speak. Even Mazuaka got stuck in when he come on. To be fair, he did. Fair play to him, but I don't think he's a left back. The problem is with Mazuaka is what is his position? He's not a left back. He's a left wing back. He's not a left winger for me because he don't cross balls decent enough, and he don't beat a man as much as he should do, in my opinion. Roy, I agree with Gary. Souček was a different player today. 100% agree on that. I really do. The only negative was Dawson for their goal and Diop in general. Diop's not hard enough in a tackle, doesn't dominate in the air, flies into tackles recklessly and can't pass the fullback. Fullback's bailed. The problem is I keep praising Issa and Issa keeps letting me down massively, which is a problem. I try and give this geezer the benefit of that, say he's young, he's this, but I'm starting to lose faith with him. One thing I will say about Craig Dawson today, he's lucky to get sent off. He elbowed the geezer in the back of the nut. No disrespect, but if that would have went to VAR, I think he goes. Right, he smashed him like a forearm smash in the back of the head. And I'll be honest with you, I was shitting it. And I think that was at 3-1. That was at 3-1, and I was thinking, oh no, what's going to happen here? So for me, I was nervous there. But Dawson gets his traditional booking that he always gets at 3-1 standard. But both of them, I think both of them need to come out, and we need centre halves. Daniel, get your checkbook out, I'm afraid. High mods, FIFA. Subscribe to developer, which is good. Southampton were also bad, but different type of bad. They were lack of system to win the games, but contained us as a unit. Watford had a few decent attackers. One-on-one defending was awful, played into our hands, which I agree with, mate, 100%. Let's be honest, it's Dyer slagging him off, which motivates Vlasic to score a goal. Listen, me and Dyer have mixed opinions on Vlasic. Some games I look at Vlasic and I think, you know what, he's played okay. I won't criticise the geezer fully. But I do agree with Dyer that he should be doing more for the price tag that he has come in for. He's the most expensive substitute I think West Ham's ever had at present. Like £33.5 million of talent sitting on the bench. So he's got to do more. But for me, he scored a goal today. I know I'm going to get stuff from people, so I can be prepared to take it. But I want people to understand one thing. Saïd Benrahma's been here a long time now, and he gets stick. And we need to start praising him up also, because Saïd got us in front today. He had shots. He was trying. He was excellent. He ruined their left-sided player. I think he got subbed in the first half. Let's give him a bit of respect. Evening, Lucas, my American brother. Hope you are well, mate, all the way over in the US of A. Thank you very much. Mark Noble was absolutely exceptional today. Yeah, I totally agree, Lucas. I really do, mate. Really, really do. Hi, James. Enjoy your shows. Up the Emmers for today's excellent result. For today, excellent win for us. Totally agree, mate, Lee. Hope you are well also. Joan, our fans were massive today. I'm delighted for those who went to Watford and saw that win. Do you know what the fans, I'll tell you what, these fans have deserved it. Them fans who travel away, they had to go and witness the Arsenal game where we got completely dominated from start to finish. They travelled all out to Burnley for a game where we was awful. So, yeah, fair play to every single one of them fans who made the trip to Watford today in Hertfordshire. When we were 1-0 down, I felt we were playing side to side a lot. Had no one who could switch the ball. Souček couldn't. I thought we missed Rice's ability to get into attackers. But I must admit, today proved something to me also, that Declan Rice goes forward, and when Souček sits, it's not the same. What it is, we've got to make a decision on that. We either go one or the other, and that's a decision we have to make. So yeah, hit the like button, people. Please do. If you're new around here, also you're viewing this for the first time, please do subscribe to my channel. I had a few good bets come in today in regards to the game. So I Ben Rama at 16-5 was absolute printing. So yeah, thank you very much. Why was I timed out? Who timed me out? No, I've got no idea who timed you out, mate. FIFA, I've got no idea who timed me out. I take Antonio at City. Not gonna lie. No, well, all depends, mate. All depends. Good evening, James. Hope you're well. Good result on the road for the Hammers, mate. Yeah, Paul. Another person I want to speak to. Message me on in the comments below, and I will speak to you about something that I want to organise. But yeah, great result today, mate. Really was. We needed it massively. We've been playing poor, as you know, and we needed a performance of some to get us back up for it. We've got a big game against Palace on Sunday, I think it is. We need a win. FIFA's here, they're talking to each other. I thought Soko was going to run through Noble before the game. I agree. But no, Mark Noble is Mark Noble. That's what he does. Go on, the boys. I've got a lot of praise in here. Brilliant win, but still think Diop is shit. Yeah. The problem is, Jace, if I'm honest, everyone's losing faith with him. And this was his moment. And this is where I was praising him up and saying, come on, we've got to get behind him. We've got to go, you know what, Saïd Ben Rama, Issa Diop, all the players that weren't sort of cutting it, we've got to start getting behind him. And Issa's just not cutting it at the minute. Could he be better with a better centre half? Possibly. But it's a worry. We need him now. Yeah, he's another one that we need. They're all talking to each other. Man of the match, Gafal for me, looked like his old self again. I think Jared Bowen or Mark Noble for me, mate. I think I'd give it to Mark Noble for the sheer fact of what he'd done. He went 1-0 down. He got the team together. He scored a goal. Mentally, we could have been shot to shit after going 1-0 down, right? Because we've gone 1-0 down in the last X amount of games. So Mark Noble for me, but I think Jared Bowen ran the show for us today. He really, really did. They're talking about City, 31 watching. Hi lads, how are we all doing? Sorry, FIFA, I thought you were spam. No problems, bro. What we got here? Let's go down to the bottom. I'm good, mate. Thank you. Diop has a mould of a beast, but is half-hearted in his defending. Issa Diop defends like he's in the French league still. He's got to realise he's in the best league in the world. He's got to sort it out. He really has. I hope we'll get battered tonight. Yeah. Why do we not try Krell behind Rice and Souček? Good question, mate. Really is a good question. I'm so pleased that Alex Krell got on the pitch today. That's the one thing I will praise. I'm so pleased for that. Like, finally, we get to see Alex Krell. And do you know what? He could have scored if Vlasic didn't. Like, because he was lurking around that box towards the end. I'm pleased for Alex Krell. Do you know, I want to see more of him. But Vlasic gets the goal. Let's hope it's one of the sides that turn up. Oh, they're talking about Man City. It was long your name. It was your long name. Oh, they're talking about. Let's go for it. I think Krell needs more game time. I can see a player there. I hope so, mate. I really do, Jason. I really do. I hope he can just turn up and perform when we need him. I want to see more of Krell. That's the problem. Krell has to. I want him to do something, Krell, but he needs to play. Evening, James. Vlasic is really poor. I didn't think he's good enough to be in a West Ham shirt. That is not. If that's not trolling me, I don't know what it is. But listen, he scored a goal today, mate. What else can I say? I can't criticise him today. He scored a goal. Ben Rama scored a goal. But you watch, people will still criticise Ben Rama. Or maybe he should have scored a hat-trick or something today. You know what I mean? Madness. Lanzini played well in the middle. Yeah, Lanzini. And this is the man that we want to ship out to Newcastle or Leeds or somewhere. But not being funny, don't get rid of him. He's done really well for Lanzini, really. This time last season, People were saying about, can Lanzini still kite in the Prem? Can he still do the job in the Premier League? And people said about in the summer, get rid of him. He stayed here. He's performed. If I'm honest, Jazza. Dawson proper ahead. The ball. Diop almost lets it hit his head. I agree. There's no what the word Jazz is looking for. There's aggression. There's no aggression in Issa Diop, which there should be. I was worried for you lot today, James. Going 1-0 down away from home, you could have easily had a folded after the run you've been on. Shows character to drag the result back. I agree, mate. I do, Paul. We have not played well since we played your mob, Arsenal. I think since your mob, we've just gone down a downward slope rapidly. But I will say one thing: we looked a completely different team with Mark Noble in it today. That's mad. You can say Watford. I think a lot of things. I don't want to get too carried away with the situation, but I thought Watford were there for the taking. I thought Watford haven't played in 18 days. They've had no training sessions. They've had one training session, and they have. Let's be honest. I believe, and this is what I said on my betting show, that they will run out of steam towards the end. They will start off fast. I expected a goal from them today. We don't, because when you've got Issa Diop and Craig Dawson at the back, you're going to concede. But I just fancied with our firepower, we could outscore them, and this is exactly how it went today for me. It really did. And this was masterclass. Do you think Moyes will tell Rice to sit versus Palace and allow Souček to push forward like today? And for me, I hope so, Mark. I really do, because it proved it today for me. It really did. But when you look at it today, you see a player there who's a completely different player. Souček today, he really was. A big game versus Palace now. We've been all a good form, unlike us. Yeah, but do you know what? It's a big game. They all know it's a big game. Rice will be back. The confidence will be back. We will be the counter-attacking team against Palace. I believe Palace will come forward. I think we can do them in Palace. I really do. Lanzini was quiet in the second half. I agree. I'll tell you what pissed me off against the Saints. Took off Ben Rama fair enough. Then put Kraut on and put Souček up top instead of Yarmolenko. I agree, mate. I agree. I don't see that the hate for Vlasic, to be honest. Remember when Thierry Henry came to the Premiership? The rest is history. The problem is, Paul, it ain't hate. But when West Ham can't afford to go out and pay £33.5 million, £33.5 million for a player who's going to sit on the bench, it just you can't. He should be starting ahead of Lanzini. He should be Lanzini's replacement. He should be playing in front of Lanzini today. And Manuel Lanzini's playing today instead of him. Don't get me wrong. I want the kid to come good. He's a West Ham player. He wears a claret and blue shirt, and I will back him up to the hill. But you've got what it is with certain YouTubers and certain platforms. They believe that you've got to keep praising a player, even when he plays shit. Now, that is not how you should be. If a player's not performing, he needs to be called out. And that's how it should be in life. If you're not doing something right in your job or in your career or in your life, and you're going down a bit of a dark road, you need to be pulled back, reassess, and go again. And that's what it is with Vlasic. And I do believe that Vlasic will come good eventually, but we need him now, because we're in a position where West Ham don't get top 6, top 4 every single season, even though you can forget last season because of the pandemic with no fans. Let's see where we end up this season. So we need him now. I'm glad he scored a goal today. It will boost his confidence. It will help the situation when Ben Rama goes, and that's how it should be. He's £33.5 million. That's what we paid the money for. So you can't compare him to Thierry Henry, Paul. God's sake, he was one of the best strikers in the Premier League, mate. Noble Mr. West Ham is in the legend of the game for me. Yeah, Fabianski as well. What a save he made at the end there. He barely put a foot wrong. Poor Areola. I feel for Areola. From what I've been hearing about Areola, it's looking like Sam Johnson in the summer, a free transfer. I think West Ham won't pay the wages for Areola. But I will say one thing: at 2-1 up, today, he makes a great save from Sissoko to keep us at 2-1. I think that goes, it's a completely different game. Fabianski gets a lot of criticism for really unnecessary stuff. And for me, I don't understand it myself personally. I feel that Fabianski is a bit of a scapegoat sometimes. Like when we lose a game, everyone's digging at Fabianski straight away, which is really not fair, I don't believe. So, yeah, he done well today, mate. Today proves that we need a set-up three in midfield, need Crowell, Lanzini, Fornals in the middle with Rice and Souček. You can look at it like that, mate, but I just think Watford were there for the taking. Palace will be an interesting game, and I believe, don't be surprised if he goes with Vlasic. Vlasic has scored now. Antonio, Bowen, Benrahma, Vlasic. I could see that happening on Sunday, I think it is. Don't be surprised. Yeah, I agree. It's a lot to pay being sat on the bench. I agree, mate. And you probably didn't see it, but when Fabianski scored, when Vlasic scored, Fabianski ran to the pitch to celebrate with him. He even asked the I think that's a ref if it was a lad. Their goalkeeper was fuming. Fair enough. And that is the end of the comments, and that is the end of the afterthought. I'm going to be back very shortly to do a player ratings with Tom Affers, my friend. But my final thought is this today. We're back. We've sorted ourselves out. I want to say a big thank you to Mark Noble today, because he has got this team back to where we should be. I think he was, and I'm going to praise him up because he's Mr. West Ham. He's a Canning Town boy, and he's one of our own. And he pulled us through the mill today and got us through the other side. And there's a lot of players who take a lot of credit. I think we had a mixture of good play from us, Watford not fully on it, and it helped us to progress to the win. Also, I've got to say a big shout out to Vlasic. I know that people are going to come at me, trolling at me. Vlasic, James Vlasic. Fair enough. He scored now, right? Let's see. Let's not sing and dance over one goal. I can say well done to him today. He's done very well. He scored a goal. He come on the pitch. The game was dead at the time. We was 3-1 up, comfortable, and he's bagged a goal. We need him when Benrahma goes to the African Cup of Nations, and that is no joke, because when Benny goes, he's got to come in. He's got to perform. And that is when I will see if Vlasic is the player that we all want him to be. Do you know what I'm saying? But I will praise him up today. Well done. And finally, sorry, Benrahma, mate, my boy. I've backed this kid up for a long time. I've had a lot of stick from a lot of people for a long time. Twitter, social media. People saying about I don't know any facts. The fact is, this kid is a fucking talent. And he will be a talent. He's naturally gifted, good with both feet. He might not do the occasional pass, and he might not do the occasional step over, but he is a talent, and he knows where the back of the net is, and that's 2 and 2 for him there. And I hope I start seeing some praise for him tonight, because he deserves it totally. Anyway, that's enough from me. I want to thank everyone who's been in the chat. This is the highest people I've seen in my chat box for a long time. 35 people watching me live right now, and I really do appreciate every single one of you. Please do subscribe to the channel if you're new around here, and like the video, goes a long way. Paul and Sharky, I will get in touch with you at some point. Paul, if you can speak to Tufty to get my details, great. Sharky, I've got you on Twitter, I'll find you. I really do appreciate every single one who's watched it tonight. Great win for West Ham. Let's enjoy our Tuesday night. It feels like a Saturday, but it's actually a Tuesday night in towards the end of December. Anyway, if I don't speak to any of you, have a very good, happy new year from me personally, and all the best. Take care. Bye for now.